there is increasing talk that elections scheduled for this year, 2021, could, as happened in 2020, be delayed given the current situation. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but there's for sure increased speculation, and at least one report that I saw yesterday which seems to give some credibility to the prospect of elections being delayed yet again. Let me know what you make of that prospect below in the comments, guys. And as ever, please start off by making sure, it's really important that you've hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss future reports here on the channel. And please support me by giving a big thumbs up to this video. Now, just to run through for you the huge number of elections that last year in 2020 were delayed as the Institute for Government layout. These elections were due to take place on the 7th of May 2020. And, you know, an absolute bumper set of elections here when you hear me read them out. 118 councils in England. This is what was scheduled for the 7th of May 2020. 118 elections for 118 councils in England. 4 combined authority area mayors. That's Liverpool City region, Greater Manchester, Tees Valley and the West Midlands. 3 directly elected city mayors in Bristol, in Liverpool and in Salford. The Mayor of London and the Greater London Assembly. Police and Crime Commissioner elections in 40 police force areas in England and Wales. And local authority by-elections for seats that had become vacant before the end of the usual term. Now, what happened was that the Coronavirus Act, which the government introduced on the 19th of March, postponed those elections until the 6th of May 2021. But of course, we've now got the Scottish Parliament and Welsh Parliament elections as well. So in terms of what's scheduled this year, not only have you got the English local council elections, you've got 13 directly elected mayoral elections in England. You've got the 40 police and crime commissioners in England and Wales. There are also elections to the Parliament's assemblies of Scotland, of Wales and of London. And that, of course, that includes the London mayoralty and the London Assembly. Now, I saw this report yesterday from BBC Radio Manchester, who tweeted, BBC Radio Manchester's learned that council and mayoral elections in May are likely to be postponed again over COVID safety concerns. The government has suggested they move to the summer, but Greater Manchester's leaders say it's more realistic to plan for the autumn. Now, Kevin Fitzpatrick, the journalist, tweeted, lots of reaction to that. Among the concerns about it happening in May are safety/cleanliness of polling stations/voting booths. Those staffing polling booths are often retired/older and managing an account with social distancing, counters, activists, observers, etc. Now, the speculation about this, as I said, is increasing. As the Press and Journal report, the very respected Sir John Curtis has actually commented on this, talking about the Scottish Parliament election, saying Holyrood election delay may hinge on UK-wide decision. So John Curtis predicts the upcoming Holyrood election will only be delayed if the decision was backed by the authorities in England and Wales. He believed a coordinated UK-wide agreement would be the preference if there were to be any move to postpone the Scottish Parliament polls currently scheduled for the 6th of May this year. The politics professor and polling expert was speaking as new restrictions, of course, coming into force. And as the Press and Journal report, prominent figures have cast doubt over the date for the Scottish election in recent weeks, although First Minister Nicola Sturgeon said on Tuesday morning that she would still hope and expect it to go ahead as planned. Professor Curtis believes a short delay is now more likely than before the new restrictions were agreed, but he said to keep an eye on the view in London and Cardiff, as well as in Edinburgh. Sir John Curtis quoted as saying, I think in the end it will be a UK-wide decision because there are elections across the whole of Great Britain scheduled for the beginning of May, some of which have already been delayed for 12 months, as I set out earlier. He said that I suspect waiting until June, I think, might be something they would agree on. But given that a lot of elections in England, including the London mayoralty and other mayoralties, are already 12 months overdue, I suspect there will be a reluctance for any greater variation. Now, he said, Scotland can make its own decision, sure, in practice, as can Wales, but I suspect there would be a preference to make a coordinated decision. He finishes by saying the odds of June, I suppose, may have improved, but delaying beyond the summer, I think would be regarded as quite a substantial decision to have to take. Now, BBC Radio Manchester, after their post, did follow up with a response from the Cabinet Office, who said, legislation provides that the elections will go ahead on May 2021. We continue to work closely with the electoral community and public health bodies to resolve challenges and ensure everyone will be able to cast their vote safely and securely and in a way of their choosing. Measures are planned to support absent voting at short notice. Guidance will be published in good time ahead of the polls, and this matter will be kept under review. So, interesting there. Now, we're looking at potential, if they do go ahead, we're looking at potential increase in what's being described as absent voting at short notice, guidance being published ahead of the polls, and the matter being kept under review. That government response highlighted again, but to that story, that the Greater Manchester leaders say they've been told May's mayoral and local elections are likely to be postponed again. The Cabinet Office insisting they're still planning to go ahead, but the matter will be kept under review. Really interested to hear from you in the comments below, guys. What do you make of this? Do you think these elections should be delayed again? What would be your response to that? And as I said, a lot of these elections, not all of them, but a lot of these elections were already postponed from last year. Could we see them postponed again? Let me know what you make of that in the comments below, guys. And of course, if you've enjoyed this report, if you found it helpful and informative, please do give this video a big thumbs up. And you can support Real News here on my channel by hitting that join button to become a member. See the link in the top pinned comment. Would really appreciate your support. As I said, guys, let me know what you make of this story in the comment. Really keen to hear from you. And of course, as ever, thanks so much for watching.